What's good, guys? Today, what I want to talk about is building resilience. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about this video so much was because I was sat there reflecting on my life and I was thinking about a lot of the madness that's happened, and I was thinking about the times where I was able to recover and what I did to be able to recover. And I feel like having this skill, being able to be resilient, is important because in life, madness is gonna happen. People will do crazy things, you'll experience crazy things. So, I looked up the word resilient, and this is what came up, and I've condensed it. It said the ability to withstand pressure and difficult times, and there was another word, another synonym that came up with it, which was elasticity. So being able to bounce back into shape. So of course, in life, things will happen, which will stretch you. You may have a little meltdown, but what's key is that you're able to recover and you're able to get back into a place where you can take action and think properly. So I put down three things anyway, three simple things that we can do that can help build resilience in them. And what I found is that it's oftentimes the simple things, that the really really simple things that make the big difference, right? A lot of wisdom is simple, and for the most part, when you're struggling with things, what you find is that you often struggle because you don't do the simple things. Like it's kind of like this, like when you're broke and someone tells you, and you're like, "How do I stop being broke?" And someone says, "You should save your money." Like we all know we should save our money, right? It's simple, but we don't always do it. Okay, so let me share with you. So the first step, anyway, to being resilient, the first thing that you can do when you're really going through it is learn not to beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself. The worst thing you can ever do is to beat yourself up when you're going through things. So, like, there've been times when I've been going through things, right, and I've been struggling, and I know a lot of people who are alpha, a lot of people who are just handling business, people who are on job, right. And when you're in that, you can think like, man, why can't I handle what's going on like this person? This person would have handled this. This person would have done it properly. Or why can't I handle it like said person? And you can almost start beating yourself and think, man, the reason I'm stuck in in this mess is because I'm stupid, or there's something wrong with me, and that just doesn't help, man. That like you're your greatest resource. You can't be attacking yourself when you're going through things. So the first thing is, of course, be compassionate with yourself, but at the same time, assess yourself as well. So, yes, there may be things that you may not be doing right, but don't go to town with it. You know what I'm saying? Assess your behavior, but don't beat your character down simply because you're struggling with things. That's the first thing. Don't beat yourself down. The second thing that I think has worked for me is learning to control what I can control and then surrender to the things that I cannot control. So let me give you an example of a slight turbulence that I experienced, and it wasn't too long ago. And I was at my old workplace. So I'm not talking down on my old workplace because I actually loved it. I had a really really good time there. But there was one situation that did test me a little bit. I remember there was this promotion that was available. There was a job vacancy available, and I was like, oh, and people were like, oh, Josh, you should go for it. You'd be really good. I've heard people are really impressed with you. You should go for it. So and I cool. So I applied. I prepared, and I did my presentation for the people who are in charge, and then I waited to hear back the results. So what I found out was I was the only person who actually applied for this said vacancy, like, and I found out that I didn't get it. So the manager told me, "Yeah, Josh, we're not gonna give it to you." And for me, that hurt so much because at the time, right, I was the only person who applied. So in my first rational thinking was, what they're really saying is, we'd rather have nobody in this position than have you in it. That's the way I perceived it at first. So and then of course all my friends were reinforcing it. They were like, "Oh, Josh, you should have got. I can't believe you didn't get it. What?" And they're all doing that because they love me and everything. And that hurt. And also at the same time, I felt embarrassed at the same time because everybody's like, "Oh, you didn't get it. Didn't get the role, right?" So I didn't like it. So that was a mini testing time. So of course I had my little meltdown. I was like, "What the hell?" I was vexed, of course, but I once again I had to come back to, like, how do I bounce back from this once again real quick, and I had to figure out what can I control. So one thing is, I can't control what's happened. I can't control the decision of the manager. Maybe it's justified. You know what I mean? But what I can control is my perception on it. That's all I can control. There are always going to be two things you can control: either the way you view something or your behavior. And if you can't change your behavior or can't change the outcome of something, it's only your perception, the way you look at it. So the way I viewed it, or had to get myself to view it, was, okay, cool. This just means that rejection just means redirection. Then I remembered, okay, I never really wanted to do this type of job full time anyway, so it's not the be all and end all. Maybe it's redirection, and it's a push in the push in the direction for me to pursue something else. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I had to view it. And then, of course, at the same time, I had to view my own personality and my own traits and what I was putting out. And I was thinking, is it me? Is it me not doing or conveying the right type of behavior that will allow me to get a promotion? So I had to assess all that as well. Maybe it's because I'm too playful, right? You know, whatever it is, I had to really, really sit down and assess what I could change. And I changed accordingly what I thought I could change. And I let go of the resentment. I let go of the perception that, it's because I'm not good enough, or it's because I'm stupid. Because had I had on to that, I would have been resentful, and I would have hated everybody in the play. I would have hated all the management. Like, I hate them, but I don't. I actually do love them. So that's one thing I had to do. I had to control what I could control, which was my own behavior and my own perception on it, and that's it. And then after that, I got surrender, because you won't always be able to control everything. So that's what you can do: control what you can control, and then surrender. Okay, that's the second thing you can do. And the third thing is, don't blame people for where you're at. So don't play the victim. And the victim is something that we like. I feel like we just naturally want to go, and you just a natural thing you want to do when things that are unjustified happen to you. You want to go into the victim mode where you want to blame people for where you're at. It's like, man, it's his fault I'm miserable. It's her fault I'm in this place. And it's a normal thing to do. But at the same time, what we must realize is that when you're blaming people, what it does is actually it disempowers you from really ever being able to change anything, right? Because it's always somebody else's fault. Like I've said in previous videos, I remember I had a love interest go wrong, a relationship go wrong, and I blamed the person for my feelings for a long time. For like a whole year, I was like, she's the reason I'm miserable. She's the reason I'm unhappy. And so long as I kept doing that, I was unable to be happy, because in my mind, for me to be happy again, the person who's upset me would have to change their behavior or have to undo the past. And both of these things are out of my control. I can't change that. You know what I'm saying? So once again, I didn't blame anybody for my feelings. I didn't blame anybody for where I was at. I thought, okay, what can I do to change what I'm in right now? And I did that, and eventually I got out of that, and I'm in a better place right now, baby. You know what I'm saying? So that is what it is. So don't blame people for where you're at. You can't do that. It just won't help you. And like I said before, those are the three things that I feel will really help you if you want to be resilient and you're really going through things.